Good morning, and welcome to the Utica Curling Club 2019 edition of the Calder Conley Hurd Bonspiel. This is a mixed in-house competition for 3 medals. Calder is our A event, the Conley is the B event, and the Hurd is the C event. We also have a consolation A event, the Crawford, this year being contested. That'll be on sheet number 5. We're broadcasting the A event final for the Calder medal, featuring the rinks of Conrad Law and Brenda Citroniti. I'm John Jacon, and I'll be your commentator for the game. So for the Law rink, their path to the finals this morning, in the semifinal event, they defeated the Mitch Rabinovich rink. Quarterfinals against Eric Crum, and their first game was against the Jones rink. Citroniti's got here by defeating Acosta earlier this morning, the Rowlett rink last night, and started off their bonspiel against the team skipped by Brian Moore. Ready now for our opening rocks. Dawn Shear, lead for the Conrad Law team. And that one comes up a little bit short, but she did throw it with grace. Citroniti skip, team skipped by Brenda Citroniti. Husband Phil lead for the team today, being asked to place a corner guard. That one just sneaks into the house about T-line weight, drifting back a little bit, but that will remain in play. And Law calls for another center guard. A little more weight on this one, but sweepers are still going to give it a rub. Waiting now for the rock to finish. Ice has been having consistent curl throughout the weekend with about 4 feet of break for most draws. The finish is coming late, about halfway between the hog line and the house. Now the call's to go behind that guard that's not quite on center line. Now starting to make its move. But short of the hog line, and a quarter will go into the bank up on the table at the end of the game for Phil. Now second stone's Joel Shear, second for the Law team. Once again, sweepers are on early as we wait for the ice to keen up a little bit here in the game. 3 sweepers working the rock hard, and it just does get across the hog line. Another call for a draw behind. This is Kathy Kane throwing second rocks for the Citroniti team. Brenda called them on right away, and again, they're really going for weight. That's a high stone. Not one that you want to promote later in the end. Somebody will come around that, and Law tries to give it a go right now. Five rock rule is in effect. We'll see if Brenda Citroniti elects to remove some of these guards on her next shot. Of course, that'll depend on where this draw ends up. Starting to make its move now just into the top of the house, just outside the 12-foot. As we said, stones are swinging late, so still a lot of opportunity to get into the 4-foot here on the draw. Once again, Brenda calls the sweepers on pretty much out of hand. Phil and third Tom Wilkinson really working on this rock. They get it around the guard, into the house, into the 8-foot, touching the 4-foot now to T-line and under cover, but as much swing as we're getting on the rocks, that is a hittable stone. With that rock on the edge of the 4-foot, Conrad still thinks there's plenty of room to get to the 4-foot with his own stones on the other side of the sheet. That's where he's electing to make his play. This is Nyoka Law throwing her first. Working hard to get this one around that guard. Just a little rub. And splits 2 onto the house. So Team Citroniti sits shot and 4th. The 2 Law stones in the top 12. Third and 4th. Second and third. And Brenda confirms that. So with the guard on the edge of the 4-foot removed, she's going to try and draw in. This is third Tom Wilkinson with his first stone. Brenda reminding him that the good miss is high on this stone rather than deep, one that they could promote later in the end.
It's first 10, that's all I can give you. It's 4.
Not a lot of curl on this stone, a little wider path than they'd anticipated. But it does come in to rest his second shot. Conrad Law calling for the hit, asking for up weight on this hit. He'll be looking to cross over the face a little bit and roll under cover. This one holding the line, now starting to move, but not going to come to nose. And that'll stay right there. Clears the stone through. And that looks to be 5th rock from our vantage point. Two options now for the Citroniti team on this hit. They can either play the straight double or they can play this to try and get a roll under cover. Sweepers say the weight is okay. This one's curling off of the object stones. and glides through the house. One more try for the draw underneath. Conrad Law coming down to deliver his first stone of the first end. Looking across the sheets across the shed on sheet number 2, the contest for the Hurd medal, Roger Rowlett versus Mike DiGeronimo. Sheet 3, our championship sheet. Sheet number 4, the Conley medal, Jones versus Hurd, and on sheet 5, the Crawford medal, Rabinovich versus Acosta. Sweepers on this one pretty quick. This is not going to make the house. Takes away the draw path on that side of the sheet from the Citroniti team. Brenda Citroniti coming down to the near end to throw her first stone of the first end, looking to throw a draw. Wants to bring this one in full 8, provide cover for her shot stone, and lie second. Depending on how hard this stone breaks, they could actually get to the 4-foot top 4 and be half underneath the yellow stone that you can see in the top 12 on where it says Utica, where it says club. Sweepers check their watches and start sweeping. Getting called off now, waiting for line to improve. Great wait for the draw, but just did not finish. And an opportunity for a double now for Conrad Law. So pointing out the various options, it's looking like he'd rather take the hit and roll to center. It's a thin double. I would leave him sitting 2 with the double. The hit and roll, if the roll is executed properly, would leave him shot stone under a lot of cover. Good weight for the takeout. We'll see if it holds the line. That one needs the curl. That's a little bit wide. Needs to come back. They might need to look at this slash double here. And not enough weight to move 2 rocks successfully. Does clear second shot. And Citroniti will have a draw for 2. You can play this as a draw with a backer. You can play this as a hit. Tightening up the ice a little bit, which tells us that she's throwing the hit. Rocks away, sweepers on immediately, now being called off. And again, this one needs to curl a little bit. It's going to curl. And 2 points for the hammer in the first end. First end's also completed on sheet number 2, where the DiGeronimo rink with the blue stone scored 1 point. Back here on sheet number 3, center guard being called for. This one's got a little weight, looks like it might drift into the house. There's that late break we were talking about. And about halfway in the 12-foot. Conrad Law wastes no time in asking Dawn Shear to remove this stone. That one floats just a little wide. So just about hack weight, you saw that stone maybe moved a half a rock. Option now for Citroniti is to try and either come around or play a little tap up and establish a free guard. They're going to try and sneak this one around. It is going to clear the guard into the 8-foot, into the 4. T-line weight. Law will take another pass at removing the top stone. Line's good on this one. Conrad calls him on. Broom's working hard to hold the line here. Just need a little more weight for that ice. That was somewhere between back line and hack weight, and not enough to hold the line for the ice that Conrad Law gave. Kathy Kane being asked for the raise. Once again, the option is come around if they can. Raise is option A. Come around's the B. This is going to come back 8. Could split our stone a little bit here on the 4-foot. It's going to make a touch. And now 2 stones in the open, well behind the tee line. Without hammer, clearing the front is still the call. Excuse me, with hammer. Law with hammer. Once again, sweep being called for line. They're going to have to go. It's a thin touch. Oh, my. Third time's a charm for the attempt on this tap up, but this one looks like it's got a little too much juice. 3 rocks still in scoring position for Citroniti. Joel Shear being asked again to attempt the takeout. Once again, sweepers called on just about out of hand. Front of the house open, Tom Wilkinson being asked to put one center line mid-8. Once again, the softer takeout weight doesn't hold the line. 3 blue stones in play. The stone coming in a little bit deeper than the Citroniti team would like. Little touch on the blue back 4. Now lying 4, but all behind the tee line. Scores and rock colors are all now updated going across the sheet for you. And now Conrad taking a look at the swing on the other side of the sheet, looking for a T-line draw using the 2 blue backstones as backers for the takeout that will no doubt come if this rock makes it into the house. Weight's nice, but they need to hold the line. Just enough separation that this one can be peeled out if they'd like. That is shot stone. Based on that broom placement, looks like we're looking for a soft weight takeout. Probably somewhere between hack and board. Chip the yellow off, keep the blue in play. Line's good. Rock's curling nicely. Sweeper's going to have to go hard to control this. This is going to jam on the back blues. It's close, but from our perspective, looks like blue is shot. Draw 2 is the call, and as you can see from the broom placement, Conrad Law expecting 4.5 feet of curl out of this draw. Following the stone down. Now starting to bend. Sweeper's making a furious effort to drag this one to the house. Still room to draw behind, but Brenda is looking at the option of the short run back. Opportunity for her to lie 5 in the house. Still discussing options. And the hit's going to be the call. Second skip stone for Brenda Citroniti here in the second end of our A event final. The rock she's making a play on is actually shot stone. We're looking to remove the second counter and lie 5. Line needs to improve just a little more to keep that shooter in play. And that does the job, although the yellow stone is on the back of the rings. 5 blue stones closer to the pinhole than that lonely yellow rock. Hit and stick for 1 is what the Law team is looking for. Sweepers like the wait. Naoka's waiting for the rock to make its move. Now it's starting to curl. Now it's going to make contact, but will it hold? Thirds will take a look. It's close between those two rocks. They've agreed, and we'll see which rock goes into the hack. So we'll call that a force of 1. And our score after 2 ends, 2-1 Citroniti over Law. Over on sheet number 2, the Rowlett rink answered with 4, a score of 4 in their second end. And second end still in play on sheets number 4 and 5. Centerline guard is the call for Dawn Shear. This one hangs out a little bit wide, drifts into top 8. Brenda Citroniti asked for the takeout. Ideally, they'd like to see a roll to the edge of the rings here. Keep that center line clear. This one's curling back. It's going to make contact. Don't know that they'll be able to keep the shooter in play. And we've got an empty house. Another call for the centerline guard. Sweepers just walking alongside. This one's well into the house. Citroniti electing to come into the house with their lead second rock. Sweepers on immediately. This rock's really swinging. Short of the house and a little wide to be a really effective corner guard. They may have considered calling the sweepers off a little bit sooner, leave that one a little higher. So now Conrad will switch to the other side of the sheet and again call for centerline guard. Great weight, good finish, just off center line. Draw into the house now, looking to take advantage of what little cover that corner guard does offer. The stone not swinging quite as hard as Phil's did. Top 8, but in the open. Hit and roll to center is the call. Updating some of our other scores on sheet 5, Team Rabinovich with the hammer did take 1. And Team Hurd scored on sheet number 4. We'll look to see how many of their third posts. Another draw into the house here on our championship sheet. That one drifts to the back of the house, back 8. Team Law is going to ignore that one and draw underneath their center guard. And it was a score of 3 for Hurd on sheet number 4. Sheet number 4 is our B event, the Conley medal. Nicely by the guard. A little deeper than the Law rink would like. That one's easily gettable from the outside. Sweepers on and off, the hit's made. Will they get a little roll undercover? Not much roll. Normal takeout, wait the call. Bluestone's lying 2 in the house, but both behind the tee line. Conrad calls the sweepers on for line, now off. Plenty of room by the guard. The hit's going to be made on the outside. And a little drift into the open. Tom Wilkinson asked to clear this rock again. Sweepers being called on. Now it's to nose. Another hit will be the call as we quickly move through this end. Our A event is named for John W. Calder, longtime Utica curler back in the early 1900s. Winner of the Mitchell Medal in 1924 and the Grand National Curling Cup president in 1933 through 1935. Naoka Law calls the brooms down. Looking to control this roll. They've got it on the inside. They're going to get some roll undercover and just sneaks out the other side. So now play will switch to the other side of the center line. And if we keep trading this rock, it'll be a score of 2 for Citroniti. But the hit has to be made first. So it looks like Brenda is actually asking for the roll to go over in front of her rock in the back 12. That could set up a potential double for the Law team. And take 2 out of play. We'll see what the result is. Sweeper's called on for line. Now off. This rock needs to make a move. Now an opportunity for a steal for Team Law. Looking to put this rock just on the rings. Didn't seem like Conrad was particularly concerned about being second shot in this situation. And as he comes down, he says just full 12. More concerned with covering shot rock than setting up 2. No activity from the sweeper, still waiting for line to improve on this draw. That sets up the pocket for a double. Although the folks who are better at angles than me might suggest that the stone that's just forward of the tee line is lined up to jam on the blue stone in the back. If you're going to hit in the right place to clear the stone that's on the left side as you look at our view.
This is hard. Hard. Up.
Stones away, plenty of weight for the takeout. Waiting for line to improve. This one's thin. It's going to make contact, but will it stay? And that's a great hit and score of 2. History tells us that we had at least one other member of the Calder family as members of Utica back in the early 1900s. Frederick Calder was the Grand National Curling Club president in 1912 and 1913. The Calder family, great promoters of curling, not only here in Utica, but all across New York State. And their daughter, Elizabeth Calder, later went on to marry Edward Childs. They moved to Connecticut and were founders of the Norfolk Curling Club. Open house on sheet 3 as we move into Leeds Rocks. fourth end of our championship event, Dawn Shear. Hammer for Team Law on this end. He wants T-line on the edge of the 12-foot. Nicely placed stone. Citronity team will ignore that one and look to put a tight guard. Brenda asking the committee if they like the call. They agree, and we're going to move back to the center line. This one looks like it's well into the house. Sweeper's well away from the stone. And I guess we'll say the ice is keening up a little bit. Law team looking for the mirror image on their second shot. This one a little lighter. Sweeper's working hard to bring it into the house. It'll get there. With 2 rocks on the rings now for the Law team, now Citronity will move to the hitting game. Sweeper's called on immediately. They're going to have to work hard to hold this stone. So with 2 rocks on, where will Conrad go with this third stone? One towards the top 12, and will he try and go under? There's your call. T-line, wait, under cover. Conrad calling the sweepers off as he looks for line to improve. Weight's really nice on this shot. Just waiting for the curl to take effect. But not undercover, and Citronity's actually going to sit on the stone. Draw to the call. You can see Brenda's really yelling for the sweepers to hold this line. They don't want to make contact with that top stone and bounce off into the open. Law's going to look to hit. They do want to cross the face a little bit here. They don't want to leave a pocket for Citronity to draw to. They want to spread their rocks around the house. Weight's good, but the rock needs to curl. They'll make contact. They'll clear. This will be a fairly routine double.
Hurry! Up!
But even so, a good strong end building here for Team Law. Opportunity now to score 3. Sweeper's called on. Not quite enough weight to clear 2 stones, but where that yellow stone rolled in the back, that's going to be a problem for Team Law. They're going to have to make a play and not be worried about losing that back stone. That one started on the line a little bit. Conrad calls the brooms down right away. They're working hard. Now calling them off. The hit's made. They lose the back stone, not a bad thing. Lose the blue stone and now lie 3. Score update on sheet 5. Israel Acosta's rink lays down 4 points on the Rabinovich squad and now leads 6-1. Got the hit, but not the double. Law lying shot rock, Citronity second rock. Team Law looks to split the house again. That draw slips through the house, but not all the way across the back line, so the rock remains in play. Takeout's the call. They're going to want to hit this on the center line of the, center line side of the stone. Try and separate their blue stones as much as possible. Calling for a little more ice. Expecting about 1.5 feet of curl here. You can see the sweeper switching sides there to take advantage of the stronger broom to try and hold this rock out if they need to. Sweepers on and off. There's the hit. Just a skinny tap. So that is still shot rock as the blue slides through the house. And again, Team Law look to split the rings. No interest from the sweepers. Now they're on. T-line draw, and that is shot rock. Aggressive call here from the Citronity rink, looking to draw to that shot stone, cut down the rings, force the Law team to a draw of 1 rather than hit and potentially give up 2. Now a little discussion at the far end of the ice, conferring on strategy. No call for a change to the broom, so here we go with the draw 2. And now the decision changes. Hit and stick the call now. Curling back to the object stone nicely. Shooter will stay in play. Open hit for 2 for Team Law. On sheet number 2, our Hurd medal event, our 3rd event this afternoon, end number 3 was blanked. The Geronimo team took 2 in the 4th end and now trails 4-3. Rocks away here on our championship sheet, looking for the hit and stick. Good weight for the takeout, good line, no activity from the sweepers. This will make contact. Shooter should stay. And that's a score of 2 for Team Law. the Hurd Brothers Trophy, our C event here this year, named for a long-time multi-generational family. In fact, 2 Hurd brothers playing on sheet number 4 for the Conley medal today. And now stacking brooms on sheet number 3. A little break in the action here as we move to the 4th end. No, this is not a TV timeout. A lot of engineering going into this this broom stacking here. We were talking earlier about some of the Calder family's participation in the Grand National Curling Club. In the Hurd family, Ken Hurd was your GNCC president from 1947 through 1949. Brothers Mike and Doug playing together on sheet number 4 this afternoon. Back to the action now. We didn't see the ice crew go out and mop the sheet for him like we normally see during a break in the action. All the ice crew members sitting next to me now throwing debris at me. So at the end of 4 ends, Citroniti leading with a score of 4-3. Centerline guards the call. And again, we see a rock drift into the house, top 4. Phil will be asked to remove. Still playing 4th ends in our sheets number 4 and 5. Into the 5th end now on sheet number 2. Sweepers really working to hold this one. They'll get the hit. They'll get the takeout, but the shooter will not remain. Open house on sheet 3 and guards the call. Sweepers are going to give this one a little attention. Rock should finish nicely back to the center line. And that's a great guard. No play in the wings on this end. Right underneath the guard is the call for the Citroniti squad. Sweepers on this stone immediately. Up and down a little. Waiting for the rock to take its break. T-line weight with the sweeper's help, but needed a little less broom. Hit and flop, normal weight, Joel Shear, second for Team Law. Sweepers on immediately to hold this line. This is going to make contact with the center line guard. They might want to let this one cross and try for the run back. They might get the run back. There's your plan B. Open in the front, the shooter rolled all the way to the edge of the rings, outside of the house. Team Citroniti going to try and use it for a little bit of cover. This one's got some room to curl. Another guard the call here for the Law rink. They wouldn't object to a biter in this situation. Sweepers give it a good scrub, but this will end up as a nice guard. Touching the 8-foot, and that rock's got to go.
Yes, yes. Okay, because she's narrow. We're gonna be way over.
As you can see on sheet number 2, we're now completed 5 ends and the score is tied. DiGeronimo rink with a seal of 1 in the 5th end. And our 4th end is complete on sheet number 5. Looking for a raise now. The good misses the guard. And a steal of 1 on sheet number 4. This rock curling nicely. Over curls a little. Had to wait for a short raise. Two yellow rocks on the rings. Tom Wilkinson asked to remove the top one. They'll want to roll over towards our right as we look at it from the glass side. Curling nicely. Now it's all about controlling the roll. Could have swept that one a little more to get a little more roll on that. Either way, the rock was going to have to move all the way through the 8-foot. Our yellow rock in the back might be shot rock. Call us to draw around. Our camera angles are not a direct overhead, so sometimes it's hard to tell those rocks on the edge. A little light on the draw, and now no doubt bluish shot stone. Tom Wilkinson looking to remove what looks like 3rd rock. Phil Citronetti switches sides to try and push this rock back over on the line, but it's not going to stay. So now for the law rink, the decision. Couple shots that they could play here. Draw behind looks like what they're setting up for. They could play the tap up, or they could hit and stick to lie 3. Hit and stick to lie 3 would cover about half of the 4-foot. And Conrad tells the front end he's looking for the tap up. Sixteen teams entered this year's Calder Conley Hurd, so a perfect draw board. Sweepers really working hard. Just not enough weight for the raise. So the blue stone in the back yellow, a little closer in distance from the pin than it appears on our camera view. You can see third Tom Wilkinson trying to get a little bit of a gauge with his broom. Citroniti team looking to draw behind the cover. That would leave the law rink with an opportunity to either draw two or play a run back. Nothing from the sweepers. Now they're really going as the rock starts to bend. They're going to need to drag this one to get it under cover. So just about fully buried as we look at it here from the glass side. Yep. Conrad likes the run back rather than the draw two. Just a matter of comfort here. What shot are you more confident in throwing? Nailka calls on the brooms right away.
Take a look, take a look, take a look.
Heavy scrub from the shear team. This one's over curling, going to make contact with the center line guard, splits the rocks up, spills off the blue, and Citroniti still lies shot. So do you play the cold draw? Or do you hit the stone in the back of the house? Hit and stick on the back of the house would be two. Their call is the draw. Need to touch the 8 foot here to make two. Fifth end action, skip stone, Team Citroniti. Sweeper's got it started out on the wide line. This one's in the house. There's the 8 foot. There's the tee line all the way through. So a score of 1 and missed opportunity for Team Citroniti. But they still hold the lead. 5-3 now after 5 ends. Meanwhile, we're in skip stones on sheet number 2. At your Hurd medal event. skip stones on sheet number 5, which is your Crawford medal. That's our A consolation this year. And just now starting skip stones on sheet number 4. So we'll have some score updates for you in just a couple minutes. Took 3 brooms to drag that rock across the hog line, but it's a center line guard. Law team's going to try and use it to their advantage, come into the 4-foot early in this end. Line's good. Sweepers thought it needed help. Conrad said no. He thought the weight was good. Now they're back on. Nice finish on that stone. That'll end up under cover. Draw behind's the call. If it breaks hard and taps that yellow one off into the open, that's okay. Little tighter line on this stone than the one just thrown by Dawn Shear. Sweepers are on hard for line. This will get by the guard, just barely. Oh, I'm wrong. Straight raise is the call, but there is an opportunity here to maybe have both rocks end up under cover. With the right angle on the hit, you could have both the shooter and the object stone under cards. Straight back raise to the tee line. We'll see that top yellow rock go now. Opportunity for a double here for Kathy Kane, second for the Centroniti ring. Brenda looking to see if there's any play on her outside blue stone. Looking at that angle, there's the jam. Grins all around from both teams because that's curling. But our blue rock does roll out into the open, and it's a hit here. Give Team Law an opportunity to lie 3. Team Law with the hammer here in our 6th end. Looking for this rock to curl. They need it to curl a little more to stick around. They're going to get the hit. Shooter stays and they lie 3. Centroniti team still trying to control the center line of the sheet. They're going to take the high stone. This one hangs a little, they can take out the stone in the back of the house. Yellow shot, blue is second stone. Yellow with third rock in the house. Armchair Skip's deciding whether to play the draw under cover or the hit. Conrad likes to have 3 scorers on the ring, so he's going to ask for the hit. Wait's good, waiting for line to improve. So will Team Citronity continue to play the center of the sheet, or will they try and make a hit and flop on that stone in the 8-foot? So that's the dilemma. Do you go after shot stone now, or do you take away the stone that's the danger for later in the end? And the calls to remove the stone at the top of the house. Tom Wilkinson third for the Citronity team. Wait's good, line's good, sweepers are on. Nice little roll there. Law team's going to try and hide one underneath the double stack blues. A lot of separation between those 2 blue stones. Run back would be a mighty difficult shot. Draw comes up a little bit short. Another takeout call for Tom Wilkinson. This one's drifting a little. So rather than take the skinny hit and have that one be undercover, Citronity team likes to have that stone swept by. Now the Law team will look to put a little bit of a lid on it. This one's got some curling to do. Can they get behind it? A little bit of a touch. Yellow lies 3. Opportunity now for the Citronetti team to hit and roll into the 4-foot under cover. Brenda may be looking to see if there are any double opportunities here, and that's what she's looking at. Hit the top yellow, roll in front of the yellow that's on the edge of the 4-foot. Not sure if you could catch the yellow that's in the 8-foot on the backside and push it out. That would take a lot of weight. So it looks like the call is for the hit and flop in front of the Yellowstone edge of 4-foot. Taking more ice now. So I think now what they're trying to do is play the hit and flop underneath the stacked stones. Rocks away, waits good for the hit. All about line now. Waiting for it to move. This is still on the outside. That rock just refused to come over. Law team now looking for the ideal spot for their third rock. Call here looked to be corner freeze or just a soft tap. Still considering options. Four feet of curls, what they're looking for here. This rock needs to swing. Here it comes. Not enough weight for the tap. But it is third shot. Looks like Phil wants to take the cannon out. Brenda wants to hit and flop. There could be an opportunity to move all three yellow rocks here off the rings. That would take pretty big weight. Last stone for the Citroniti rink. This one looks like it turned in. And that's definitely not takeout weight. That rock had to grab something. Opportunity for 4 now for Team Law. Skip stones in play on sheets number 2 and 5. And Conrad Law settles into the hack to deliver his hammer rock. N6. For the Calder medal. Sweepers really giving it a scrub. They could have jumped this one a little bit sooner. This one's going to come up short of the house. So an opportunity lost by the Citroniti rink in the 5th end, and the favor returned here in the 6th end. And the Law rink now leads by 1 as we move into the 7th end. Guards the call for Dawn Shear. Yeah, it's a well-executed guard. Corner guard, the call from Brenda Citroniti. Phil thought he'd like to bring the stone in, but Brenda likes the guard. Brenda calls the brooms on right away. Looks like a good corner guard. Don't want to sweep this one too far out. This one might sneak into the rings. Full 12 on the wing. Another guard being called for. If it sneaks into the rings half under the guard they just threw, that's okay. A little wider ice. Sweeper's moving alongside. Nyoka thinks it needs help. Now Joel comes on. Little frostier path there and swinging nicely back to the center line. And there you go, full 12, half under cover. Half open control weight takeout's the call. That's a little wide of the line. But the weight's down and it's going to move. Not enough weight to move that yellow all the way through, so our 5-rock rule doesn't come into play here. And it looks like play is concluded here on sheet number 5. We'll get a final score update for you here in just a moment. Still in skip stones on sheet number 4. Big score of 4 on sheet number 2 for the DiGeronimo rink to take a 3-point lead heading into the 8th end. You can bet they'll be hitting everything in sight. But of course now with the 5-rock rule, more rocks in play at the beginning of the end, so that will give the Rowlett team an opportunity to try and build some kind of end for themselves. That was not the raise that the Law team was looking for. And now Citroniti will look to remove that shot stone. Shot stone in the center, second rock on the wings, blue lies third. Little strategy change here from the Law rink. Rather than play the tap, they're going to play the draw behind. If it makes contact, that's okay. And if this one ends up a little heavy, there is a backer on the center line. This one does look like it has some weight. Sweeper's not making any move towards this stone. Now it's curling back to the center line. Where will it end up?
No.
Yellow lying 3 on the rings. Remove the top one is the call. Play continues on sheet number 4. We'll give you a score update just as soon as the Hurds hang something here.
Yes, line. Hurry, line.
Okay, so the Hurd team took 2 points there in the 6th end and now trail 9-5. Eighth end action on sheet number 2, our 7th end here on sheet number 3 and sheet number 4. 2019 Calder Conley Hurd. Sweeper's working hard to control the line on this raise. That makes contact with the guard and rolls into the house. Double opportunity for the Citronity ring. Over on sheet number 2, the Rowlett rink is slowly running out of rocks. They've got 4 to play and need 3 to tie. The 2 rocks that they do have in play well outside the house, not going to be usable in terms of splitting onto the house. Here's your hit attempt from Tom Wilkinson. That'll make contact with 1. Clear it through the house and roll off. One more time into the house for Team Law. This has got a little weight on it. Curling nicely. Going to make contact with the top yellow. A little bit of a split. And 2 into the 8-foot. So 1 in the 8-foot in the open, 1 in the 8-foot under cover. And a 3rd yellow stone, back 12. Those rocks are dead flat, no double opportunity here. Looking for a little bit of a roll over towards the yellow. Sweepers on and off. This will be a nose hit.
Yes, yes.
And that's 2nd stone.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Come on.
Mike DiGeronimo directing his sweepers on sheet number 2. That's what you hear from the shed, Mike. Looking to bring one onto the house to lie 3 against the Rowlett rink. They make their draw. And every rock needs a score now for the Rowlett rink. Conrad looking for the hit here. He'd like to stay nose or even to the outside a little bit. He doesn't want to get his yellow stones bunched up. And the draw attempt on sheet 2 from MJ comes up a little bit short. Rowlett Rink run out of rocks, and the winner of your Hurd medal this year, the Hurd Brothers medal, is the Mike DiGeronimo rink. Here on sheet 3, the hit is made. A hit on the stone that Conrad Law just threw does not give Citroniti a scoring stone. Soft hit on shot rock bounces into the open. A draw underneath the rock that Conrad just threw gives him a run back opportunity. Difficult decision here for the Citroniti rink. There is room to draw the forefoot, maybe try and get underneath the double stack blue-yellow on the left-hand side of the sheet. It's kind of a long run back from blue onto yellow. So I don't know that that would be a shot that Conrad would like to throw. And after looking at things from a different perspective, it looks like draw is the call. Brenda confirms to her front end that draw is the call. Little discussion on the ice from sheet number 4, being picked up by our shed mic. Draws away for Brenda Citroniti's first shot of our 7th end. Weight looks good for the draw, waiting for it to come off of that yellow stone. Now they're looking at the redirect. Makes contact, rolls into the house, and just alongside the yellow. That's a hittable stone. Nice wait for the draw. The rock just refused to come off of that stone in the top 12. Room just off center line for the control weight hit. Sweepers on immediately. Got to go hard. This is going to be a blue-yellow combination. Wow, that rock just moved absolutely sideways. So that's the second apparent pick that we've had here in this game. Another draw is the call. It looks like she might be trying to get to the back of the forefoot here. Yeah, that doesn't look like guard weight, and the sweepers are on. Really needs a snap now. Here we are into the house, top four, back four. A little too heavy. That rock won't come into play, just slides out the back line. Tie game now as we start the 8th end. (2019) Calder Conley Hurd here at the Utica Curling Club in Whitesboro, New York. One other game still in progress. Skip stones on sheet number 4. Dale Jones without the hammer, about to throw his first. And back on sheet number 3. Centerline guards the call. Sweepers really leaning on their brooms here, trying to drag this one across the hog line. And great effort from the front end there. Phil will be buying the first round. Conrad looking to take action into the rings immediately, right into the forefoot with this first stone. Try to get one in and then guard for your life. That slides behind the tee line, so now the Citroniti rink will look to come down to it. They'll want to be top 4 here. So the sweepers thought they needed it for weight. The skip thought they needed to come up to improve the line. In the end, that rock comes up a little bit short of the target. And Law's going to try and take advantage of it by slipping one just behind. Sweepers say it's heavy. Another opportunity for the Citroniti rink to bring one into the forefoot. Sheet number 4, Dale Jones rink with a 4-point lead in the 7th end. 3 rocks, looks like at least 2, maybe 3 rocks counting. Looking to throw a draw to seal the deal. Here on sheet 3, this draw attempt just a little heavy, not going to curl, not going to get to the target. And another chance to throw one into the 8-foot here for Team Law. Handshakes on sheet number 4 in the Dale Jones rink. Takes the Conley medal over the Mike Hurd rink. A little bit of a tap here on sheet number 3, pushes that yellow rock to the back 12. Still leaves room to the button. Lock one on here, that's going to be a difficult stone to remove. Weight looks nice for the draw here. Waiting for this rock to make its move. This is probably back 8 weight. So a little miscommunication there between the skip and the front end on that shot. And Law continues to try and build the house. Sweepers think it's less weight. But still, this one's going to glide to the back of the house. That's behind the tee line. Still looking for the draw to the top of the button. There's more than a full rock from the pin to that back yellow stone, so they don't want to go deep on this and give Law an opportunity to lock a rock on. No lines, the call from Brenda Citroniti. Everything that you hear from the shed mic now is going to be our championship match. Nice weight. There's a little bit of separation between those 2 yellow rocks. Soft weight takeout can get to nose, push that straight back. Law would lie 3. Got to have a little bump here. Locking it on gives the Citroniti team an opportunity to throw a guard on this and make it very difficult to remove the blue shot stone. And you'd see play switch over to our left-hand side of the sheet where there's still room to draw the side of the button. Conrad Law really dancing with that high guard, and he's regretting that up call now. Okay, but still room to the button here. Now an opportunity for the Citroniti rink, put one top 4. This one comes a little deep and locks on. There's no more room to the pin. Sweepers separating themselves from this rock. They do not want to lay a broom to it.
Yeah, just fall on top of it. Freeze to it. Just back 4.
Back 4 is the weight call, but you really don't even need that because you don't want to take the chance of bouncing off at all. High side of the button is better than too deep here. Nothing from the sweepers. No call for line. This one's on the side of the 4-foot. So that pocket still remains. Regardless of who's shot here, the call is still going to be the same. And they're going to play the familiar side of the sheet. From our vantage point, it looks like yellow may be shot. They're going to take another look. First skip stone for Brenda Citroniti here in the 8th end. Team Law has the hammer. Just about every rock we've seen on this path has gone a little bit deeper than both teams have wanted. Third, Tom Wilkinson likes the line. Sweepers are tempted, but they're not ready to go. So now yellow's definitely shot, but there's enough room there for the tap on the yellow to improve the blue stone that's on the center line just behind the button. That could still be our shot rock if any plays made on that yellow.
Which stone picked on that last stone?
No, he slid wide.
Law Rink is looking to lock one right on top of their shot stone, which would then force Citroniti team to the other side of the sheet where there would still be room to get to the button. Draws away. Sweepers are on. Boy, they're going to have to lean on this one. Oh, that's well short of the house. As much curl as we've been getting, you can still get to that shot, not even looking at the other side of the sheet. All our play has been on the right-hand side of the sheet here as we look at it from behind the glass, but there's still a lot of room to the button on the other side. Looks like they're just trying to throw a little over heavy draw. Back 4, maybe just back 8 weight. Get a touch on the yellow. And bring their rock on the center line behind the button into scoring position. Rocks away, they like the weight. Oh, were they too late on the sweep call? Were they too late on the sweep call? It's tight to the guard. It's tight, it's gonna rub, and it's off. And that's the game. That confirms your shot rock right there. So after 8 well-fought ends, winner of your 2019 Calder medal is the Conrad Law Rink. Handshakes all around, good friends on the ice, good friends off the ice from everybody here at the Utica Curling Club. Thanks for joining us for the webcast.
Tell Tim and that's why we drank water all weekend.
Somebody took my spot.
How rude.
forefront.